The Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. More leads. More sales. More predictability.
Introducing Jared Hyman, sales and marketing expert. Introducing Serena Carley, marketing and outsourcing expert.
Hey there everyone, welcome to the Marketing Funnel and Strategy Show. Welcome to Monday's episode. Hope you're all having a fantastic day so far and have a big week planned. Live here with Serena. How you doing today, Serena?
Yep, I'm doing fine. It's nice and hot where I am at the moment, so hopefully I'll stay cool through the whole process. You?
Here in Perth today as well. It's been very, very hot, which is good. So in today's episode, we're going to be going through and just talking all general day-to-day business and what's going on in the world today, right now. So here in Australia, JobKeeper is finishing up. Well, it's actually has finished up for a lot of areas. I'm not sure about Queensland at the moment with, the new cases and everything that's gone on there. But yesterday, yep, as Serena said, it's all finished up. So what does that mean for everyday business? Really, that's what we're going to be discussing a little bit here in depth today. And we're going to be talking about it. We'll talk about just whatever comes up as well through it. So join into the conversation today. Let us know your thoughts, what you think of the whole situation now. And if there's some things that are going on in your world, feel free to sort of voice it here on the page. We'd love to hear from you guys. So when it comes to this JobKeeper, right, Serena, I think for a lot of businesses, they should have really been just before the live here, we were talking about it. And my firm belief is they should have been thinking about this in January, because we've known for quite a while now that it's finishing up the end of March. And if businesses are starting to just think about, okay, what am I going to do now? They're already a mile behind, right? So, because, they knew that all that was coming, right? So, I mean, if you're just starting to think about it now, it's, starting to get on a little bit late, but it's not too late to sort of start actioning that and everything as well. What are your thoughts, Serena, about it? Or do you think it's something someone should have been thinking about for a fair bit longer time ago? They should have been thinking about this for a while, right?
Well, I think most people possibly could have, but it's in regards to what did they do when they did start thinking about it. So I got the impression that, it was, and when we've sort of noticed, it was really hard to get staff for certain things. If you're trying to hire people to do stuff, because the government was paying out so much money to people were happy just to sit back and relax and, well, I'm fine now, I'm being covered. But, whether the companies or the side of the people that were getting paid, just depending, did they prepare for when the moment came? So you should have been thinking in advance, what am I going to do? Do I need to somehow increase business so that when the government stops paying the money that you're paying the staff, am I going to be able to have enough to do so? Did I anticipate this 6-12 months down the track from when it first started? Or did everybody just sit back in a relaxed sort of manner, and not relaxed, I guess, with what's been happening, but, just sort of thinking, well, we'll just wait and see what happens when it happens, and then bang, it hits you. And then it's going to be like, well, so what are you going to do now? Or what have you started to do? Did you start something? Or now you're caught. I saw something on the news the other day where someone said, I'm going to have to put my staff off because I can't afford to pay them. What did they do months before to actually cover this exact thing happening? Did they think the government was going to do something else again because the corona is still going, or it's like that, or what? We don't know. So that's the big question for everybody.
Yeah, I think my personal opinion is if your business was relying on it to survive, you should have been doing stuff about it ages ago. We're being in business, we're in control of our own destiny, and we can do things differently to get a different result. So, sitting there and whining about how we're going to have to do this, do that, do something else, in my mind, isn't the right way of going about it. You should be going, okay, instead of sitting on the news saying I'm going to have to put everyone off, I mean, as sad as it is, what are you going to do about it, right? Because we got two choices, right? Everything is a choice, right? We can choose to woe on things, or we can choose to do things differently. Because if we just don't do anything differently and we continue on the way we are, we'll always still continue getting the same results, right? So the question is what are you going to do differently, right? The one way to increase revenue of a business is to be able to get more customers. Another one is to put the prices up. Another one is to get people to transact with you more regularly, right? If you can do all three of those all at the one time, you can grow a business quite quickly. All you got to do is just do something differently, right? So I don't know. For me, I don't know what you think, Serena, but I'm kind of a low tolerance to it all, really. Sitting there and complaining about things as opposed to doing things a little bit differently. That's sort of the way I go about things. But what do you think? Like, what should these people be doing? What should they be thinking about? Like, what should they be actioning is probably a better word.
Well, I can't say, I guess I know what's in everybody's minds, but I do see a lot of people trying to do a lot of everything and getting nothing. I guess, and I noticed this because I've been in the same boat myself a few years ago when I was doing exactly the same thing with my business. And, it's sort of like trying to get customers as cheap as possible without having to lay anything out. Now, that's a hard way of doing it. You can do it to a certain degree. You may not get a lot coming in, but, and it takes a lot of work on your part. Now, if you don't want to do it yourself, you could then pay someone else to try and do it as well, but it's always going to be, not quite as good as what you would do yourself, as in social media or something like that. So, the thing I learned the most, and obviously it was through you as well too, was getting leads, and it was through paid advertising. Now, paid advertising, I don't think a lot of people may understand a lot about it, and they just think it's going to be a lot of money to get, one customer or something like that. So I think let's dumb it down and say we're talking to newbies about, advertising. They want their business to grow, but they don't know how to make it grow quick, and they don't understand the concept of, if you do paid advertising, and is it going to cost me a complete fortune just to bring people in that could be my customers? So I'm thinking that would be a really good thing right now, is to do that, Jared, and explain to those that don't know or are not in the know of exactly what paid advertising is, how it works, and how you can actually create the cost of it and tweak it and all that magical stuff that you do to make it as little as possible.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to talk about. But my personal opinion, right, is I guess people are going to have a mind shift first, because talking about the expenses or how something could be of benefit to them, there's plenty of information here on the page about it that people can get on sort of how that's done and everything. I guess the biggest thing is, for starters, a lot of people that are in this situation where, my opinion is, if they're in this situation of thinking about, okay, they're going to have to put staff off because all of this stuff is finished, right? They're really got to have a mind shift in things right now as well, because they might go, oh, put off, this is the thing, they might go, oh, I've just put off staff. How am I going to be able to put into advertising now as well, right? So people have got to get, in my mind, you've got to be a little bit more solution orientated, because a business can apply for government grants. There is government grants available for advertising. There's government grants available to be able to help businesses be assisted in the growth of their business, right? Whether it be taking their business online and things like that. I spoke with a business just here in Perth just recently and got themselves a government grant, right, to be able to sort of fix up and tidy up their website and all this type of stuff.
Wow.
So people have got to be a little bit more solution orientated for starters, right? You got to start coming up with some solutions, some ways to be able to do some things differently, think about things slightly differently to what you normally would have. We could go through and we could explain to everybody right now, what is paid advertising, why they should do it and everything like that. But if it just put off staff, right, it's like, you've got to become more solution orientated with things as well. So my mind is go for government grants. If you can get a government grant for yourself, I don't know what ones are available. Don't take anything that I'm speaking about as personal advice for your situation or anything like that, anyone that's watching live, but, you know, start thinking differently, right? It's like Serena said, you know, acquiring clients online is something that can be done for your business. You can get government grants in some way, shape, or form if your business actually can get those grants. I have no idea. I don't know any of you that watch this live. I know a few people that come on live from time to time because they come on regularly. However, you've got to get that solution-orientated mind in place, start looking at different solutions in order to make things happen and start taking the actions towards that. I think right now, for a lot of people, they probably have to get back to hitting the pavement, right? The old school style things, because it still works. Hit the pavement, meet people, walk and talk, do stuff. You know, if I was, say, a cafe or a restaurant or something like that, I've had to put off a heap of staff and so on as well, I'd be going back, you know, scaling back whatever I could, but then I'd be hitting the pavement, right, and out meeting people and giving offers to people and stuff like that, right? Come in, 2 meals, you know, a dinner for 2 for $50, sit down menu, these are your options, right? Give people options, and I'd be walking and talking a lot now to be able to go out and find new clients for your business or new customers to come through the doors, right? If you have to do that, you have to do that. You know, use online for campaigns, and, you know, paid advertising is a great way to do that, and you can do it cost effectively, and you can speed up the process a lot quicker by doing it. You've really got to switch up your mindset even around that, because you've got to understand as a business, the investment into online advertising is not only growing your brand, but it will help you acquire new clients, new customers. And, you know, we've worked out for our business, if we spend a certain amount, we will acquire one client that will pay us several $1,000s to do work for them, right? So from our perspective, we understand that. Yes, and some of you might go, we do this every single day. We're an advertising agency. We do plenty of advertising. You see our stuff all over the internet, all this type of stuff. This might be the case. However, it can be done for absolutely any business, any service, any product. It doesn't matter what it is. You just got to start thinking differently to what you have in the past to be able to get a different result. That's all it is, right? Because if you look at paid advertising as a whole, no major company in the whole entire world has got anywhere without paid advertising. Every single one of them have utilized paid advertising in some way, shape, or form. They're either on the radio, they're on the news, they're on the TV. They might be, you know, doing press release type stuff in the newspapers, etc. You know, they're doing Google advertising, they're doing Facebook advertising, they're doing Instagram advertising, doing LinkedIn advertising, all this type of stuff, right? And look, all of this is what all major companies are doing these days. They're investing into online advertising and assets and things that can then produce them more revenue on the back end. You guys can all do the exact same. You just got to switch the mindset. And where it always starts is with the business owner. The business owner must have a switch in mindset. They must be looking at things differently to what they were before in order to get a different result. And, you know, if by chance some of you may have, now that this has all finished up, the government grants and, what's it called? The
JobKeeper.
JobKeeper, yep. So if that has finished up for you guys right now, and, you know, you have had to put people off, look at other grants and stuff that are available from the government to be able to invest into, you know, some types of marketing and advertising, that type of stuff. And
you can also get a loan. Is there some sort of financing you can do that can help them move forward as well?
I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a broker. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not your accountant. I'm not anything like that. So I can't advise on that for anybody. But I could say, for me, I would be happy to go and get a loan for things like that. And I would go to a broker. And any of you need a broker, I can give you a good broker. If you need an accountant, I can get you guys a good accountant based here in Australia. That's for the Australian people, of course. So, you know, even we can do, I think we can do New Zealand as well. I know someone in New Zealand. So, you know, if any of you are looking at doing things like this, yes, you can go get loans. You can do all this sort of stuff as well, right? But you guys have got to make that decision for yourself. For me personally, I would. Most certainly.
There's not many other choices around as to what else will happen. You talk about people having, you know, like the mindset and everything like that. For some people, especially with everything that's been going on in the last year, they could have got themselves into a bit of a slump where it's very hard for them to get into a different mindset. So what would you recommend for somebody that's like, they're so like, you know, it's just like doom and gloom, and they really need to step out of that doom and gloom, but they just quite don't know how to do it, especially if they're just stuck in it on their own? What could they do?
Well, just join our 300 Mastermind program. Really, that's the first thing, because you got to get yourself surrounded by other people that are doing things differently, you know, and you got to be surrounded by other people that are a little bit more positive. If you're not hanging around people that are positive every single day, how are you going to even be able to switch it by yourself? It gets hard, you know. So if for people that have been in slumps, join the 300 Mastermind program. It's less than $1 a day, and you can have access to that for 12 months. And you can get the support that you require in order to move forward and make things happen. And, you know, be around other positive people. Check in with other positive people, right? Create some relationships. We've got a referral network as part of that too. So you can get referrals through that network there. And you can learn paid advertising, and you get coaching and stuff from us every single week, which we've got one today, don't we, Serena, as well?
Yeah, 2 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, not 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock Perth time. Yep.
2
o'clock Perth time. Yep, we got that later on today. You just got to be around people who are a little bit more positive than what you are. That's really the main thing. You just continue sort of, you know, if some people are in a slump, it might be just because you're just doing the same things over and over again every single day, and you haven't got a network of positive people around you.
Yeah, I think that's really important too, because when, especially with, you know, they're having so many people working from home, and I think the home environment, as much as it can be so awesome, it can also be a trap to be stuck with your own mind and be stuck with your own thoughts and be stuck with your own doom and gloom. So, you know, even if you are working from home, there's still things that you can do online to put yourself around some powerful people, like Zoom calls and webinars and stuff like that. Zoom calls are good because you get to talk live or whatever. So, I mean, that's another thing as well too, if you're really finding it hard to get out because of that. But that's more sort of the personal positive development, as well as what Jared said, working with people who will actually bring you up and give you ideas and, you know, just pretty much tell you that there is another choice out there. Don't just think there's only one choice to go down. There is a way up, and you've got to step yourself into that place.
Very true. Very, very true. And, you know, it's still, you know, your network is your net worth. The more people you know, the more opportunities come your way. So it's really about creating your own realm around you where you become extremely well known, and then the more well known you become, the more opportunities get presented in front of you. So if you're looking for more business, you're looking to partner with people, things like that, you just got to get more you know, you just got to get more well known. That's all it is. And paid advertising gives you that side. Joining programs where there's groups of people gives you that opportunity. Still going around to events and things like that gives you that opportunity, right? And I can understand too, there's a lot of people that probably can't go to events or a little bit hesitant about going to events at the moment, and that's okay if that's you. However, right, I would be seriously looking at all of these options, right? You can't go to in-person events, find the in-person, find the events online and go to those events.
You're saying hi to Betty from the Netherlands here. She's up very early this morning, Betty Shelton.
Ah, okay. I haven't got the live up at the moment myself. So,
yeah.
Betty, hope you're well.
It must be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's gone. They just changed their clocks yesterday, so maybe 6 o'clock in the morning there. 6 or 7, I would say.
Could be. Cool. Well, good to have you on, Betty. Definitely. Awesome. So, Serena, in sort of closing thoughts from today as well, like, I guess if somebody's going through those situations where they're putting people off, they're having to, recalibrate what it is that they're doing and do things differently, etc. Do you have any sort of other thoughts or anything about today or around all of this?
Well, I was having lunch with someone yesterday, and we were sort of talking about a lot of things, and she was talking about, how she'd been ripped off by a con man as well as a lot of other people, and how she had to let that go and not sort of hold it in because while she was holding it in, she was the only one suffering, not anybody else. So it's the same as like when you're angry at someone. You're the only one that's suffering from that anger because nobody else is feeling the same thing. So a lot of people are going to feel really bad about having to put off staff, and sometimes, they would drag that out and take longer and maybe put themselves in jeopardy by doing it. There are things that maybe you can't control in this life and you have no choice, and you've got to let that go without the emotion attached to it. But also you need to get out of that, and then regarding to what we've been talking about today is then start looking at, well, instead of just swimming in that sea of hopelessness about what's going on, it's like, what can I do? And okay, so here's these two goons here talking about that we can do something. So, let us put our, I don't know, how would you say it, where the talk with the mouth, where it's coming out of the mouths. Go and check out the vault. Go and check out our Facebook. Ask us some questions or something like that, and see if there's, you can gain something from that just to take that next step up. How what I'm trying to say, Jared. Obviously, my words never come out.
Of course I do. I think, that's all valid points, right? Definitely. And if you guys have some questions as well that you want to hit us with here on the live too, we've got a few of you on here. If you've got questions, just hit us below in the comments, and we're happy to hit you up and answer any questions that you do have as well. And it's exciting times, definitely. Cool, great, awesome. I've got nothing further to say today. I think we've kind of tied all this one up, hey?
I'm just very surprised, Jared. That is so unlike you to not have something to say.
I know. Probably also too, because we've got a lot of things to do on our end. So
very busy.
Yes. So
and I'd like to be busier as well too. So got room for more.
Yeah, we've got a couple of spots available at the moment, which is cool. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for coming on today and checking out the live, and let us know your comments below, any questions that you do have, or maybe your thoughts. Maybe there's something you've been struggling with, maybe something that you need some assistance with, maybe some ideas in your head you just haven't been able to piece together at the moment. We'd love to be able to help you piece those together. If you have any questions, hit us below, as I said, and remember, guys, to get out there, take action, make it happen, and we will see you on the next live that we do, which will be this Friday, same time. So, so we'll see you same time on Friday.
Bye-bye.